Talofa, tutuila mamanua, malo soifua maua, malo foi la fai mai ne foi taiao, ni le alofa ma le anga leo le atua ai alofa ia tatou malava i nei tutuila mamanua. O tatou polokalama nei o Saili le Atamai. O lo lalo le wawaainga le tatou kolisi tu whaatasi. I lalo i le puleanga le sunga le fomai, Dr. Rosewan ka ili pato. O ia o sama o pa ia tutuila mamanua o le ale tuyo o ye se upo le au na e tau no whapea tu ia maa losa i fua maua whata alofa atu fo i tatou tina ma ta mama atua o lo nofo mai le fala i le fale ia mamai moa mai fo i le tatou poloka lama Saili le Atamai. O nei la so ia o fia lava le anganga ua maua se avanoa whaoro e tatou whaatasi e fo i malfatua po tamaitai fo ia tawhai mamau tua tupuola o ia o lo ila vava ia fo le si fo i matang le si polokalama matango fia lava i nei i tatou kolisi tu whaatasi ua ta ua o le University Center for Excellence, right?
Yes.
Ia ua a whapupole UCEDD. Ya ako mai foi mai foi fati mai o UCEDD ala le winga nga me o le UCEDD o le winga la nga o le UCEDD o le University Center for Excellence o le mana ia o whamanuianga le atua e mai atatou i polokalama ese foi inei tutuila mamanua e whapena foi la inei tatou kolisi tu whaatasi songa o nei a tamaitai i lana ia foi inga luenga i langa tanga wenga foi i le kolisi tu whaatasi. Wa maua ai se manuianga manai a lava mo tutuila mamanua. Ia e 4 million de grants leo wa maua mai foi e le nei polokalama o lo ilalo i wa'awa'ainga a whatua ia ta whai mamau tua tupuola. O lea lang o whaalungo loa i o pēr oka. Kauanga mai te whahase e tato tala noa fo i le whamanuianga. Po a fo i ni mea e mawhai ona na manuia e fo i tangata si tato atunua e me se fo i whanau i nei tato kolisi tu whatasi. Good morning or good afternoon or good evening when this show is on. And this is Saili le Atamai under the watch of our president, Dr. Rosevan Makaivipato here at ASCC. And we're here with Tawhai Mamau Tua Tupuola, and she's the coordinator or watches over the coordinator? Is it? No, there is a executive. The University Center for Excellence here at ASCC, and what a wonderful blessing that we have here with Tawhai's program, and she has just been blessed with a grant for 4.7 million, and praise God. It's all you, Tawhai, and thank you so much for all the hard work that you have done to apply and make sure that we get this blessing. So I'm going to give it up to you, and you can tell us all about this grant. And you look good. I haven't seen you for a while, and this is why I haven't seen you, because you were busy trying to get all this money.
Yeah. So thank you, Fatima, and thank you, Saili le Atamai, for welcoming me here this morning to share a little bit about the new grant that we were awarded. So the grant is actually called Money Follows the Person, and it's actually funded under the Center for Medicaid Services. So Center for Medicaid Services is the basically the same office grantor that the Medicaid office falls under. So Money Follows the Person is basically an initiative across the U.S. American Samoa and Puerto Rico are the very first territories to be awarded this this opportunity to push out this initiative, and it's basically trying to get people with disabilities, older adults, the elderly, the opportunity to choose whether they want to remain in an institution or they would like to move back out in the community, which is called Home Community-Based Services. So it's HCBS for short. So Home Community-Based Services does not exist in any of the 5 territories. So this is something new for us here in American Samoa. And we do know that we saw it as a great opportunity and a great need to basically address housing barriers for those who have to look for to take mom and dad or their son and daughter into an institution because
For like Hope House.
like Hope House. And
Okay.
in some cases it's LBJ. Some are still there for behavioral health services for more than 60 days or 90 days. And but giving them an option to say, hey, would you like to move back out in the community? But in some cases, though, there are families that put their family member into an institution because it's very difficult for them to navigate in the home because it could be a home modification issue. It could be because they live on a hill and it's hard for the car to get to them to help transport them. And so, and then in many cases they need 24-hour care. It could be they need the PT, they need the personal assistance like an OT. So this grant is basically year 1, we have to do what they call a gap analysis. We have to come together as a network, family members, come together and identify what are these needs before we decide to give them that option. Year 1, we collect this data and we're supposed to provide analysis and identify what are the types of training that needs to be in place. So obviously we can't provide PT and OT out at the homes because it's very limited. Sometimes you can only get that at the hospital. And then sometimes it's speech. Sometimes it's just an ongoing 24-hour care because the family members, there's no one there during the daytime because they're working. So this grant can identify those needs, year 1. Year 2 is, okay, do we need to pull in, recruit a couple of those who may be interested in PT or caregivers? So the college has a great caregiver program.
Here at
So
our
we
nursing.
can use, so we can use the caregiver program here and see how can we bridge them into the community, get the work experience, or if they're interested in opening up their own self-employment business and say, you know, I want to go and do this as a business and provide the PT, OT. So this is where we would help kind of see how we can get them to do that support in the community. So there's a lot of behind planning that needs
Before
to be
they can
tap into the project. Or it could be the home modification, just modify the home, or we can provide some kind of rental assistance. Now we cannot do it on our own, so we reached out with the Department of Commerce and they provided a letter of support because they have an emergency rental assistance program called ERAP. And so if we bridge in those services, then the rest of the funding can cover the remaining rental assistance. Now there are some restrictions with the rental. It cannot provide support beyond 365 days. And then if they choose to go into the community and rent, we don't want them to set up for failure. That day 366, they cannot afford rent. So again, going right back before they decide to move out of an institution into the community, There is a transition coordinator that we're hiring. We'll need to do that case analysis with the person, whether it's feasible for them to move back into the community, or it's best that they remain in the institution. But in the same time, we still have to see what support is needed in the community before they transition out in the community. Definitely need the healthcare services like PT, OT, and speech, which we know is either one or two or none. So a lot of recruitment needs to be done in building that capacity. The other thing is that invest in our caregivers program, and then even if it's something like adorable medical equipment, maybe they need a wheelchair while they're navigating in the home. So all this needs
that can be funded,
but we need to do all this
that,
analysis. Now we cannot duplicate the services that are already in the community. What we do is connect the individual, the person, to these services to make sure
like
that
you're guiding them to the next
exactly.
step.
So that's what we do. On year 2, we should have this comprehensive roadmap in navigating their needs to the services. Year 3 should be when we need to implement it. We already got all this information, information, the documentation of operations
and everything that needs to
be. So we have a template that we're using that will collect that information. So that transition coordinator will need to do all that type of assessment before connecting. Now this is supposed to support person's choice. So they choose. If they don't want to live in Fankomo, but rather live closer to church or Nouli, it's supposed to be about their choice. All this needs to be done before transitioning them out.
That's the third year.
Yes, so that's year 3. And we're hoping at least to just see what does it look like for just one person before we move on to the next.
Now, how do they go about in inquiring about this help, this help that they can get from this grant? How do they go? Is there an application or something that they, or call your office?
Good question. So year 2, well, we're hiring a project director, full-time project director. So if anybody's interested in applying, the announcement should be out soon on the college website. www.
What is that position?
Project director.
Okay.
So they can access the employment opportunity on www.amsamoa.edu. Look for project director. We need to hire them right away because the position should start this month. And then we will make sure that they are familiar with the services out in the community, have a great connection, and then they will be communicating with the project director on when they would, when it would be implemented. But most likely wait till next year because we're still looking at connecting with other agencies.
Still trying to put everything together, so do you know exactly who to connect with?
But here's the beauty. If there is a person or family member that is connected with Fatuainga, they have a family member in there, and they would like to be part of the gap analysis assessment, we will have, it'll be a 2-day session where we're going to do a lot of brainstorming. We are welcoming their participation. We will also help pay for their presence and their participation in the data collection. We really welcome their feedback because they would know what are the needs.
The ones that are in these institution like Fatuai.
Fatuaina.
Or even at LBJ that have.
Or even at LBJ.
Yeah.
If they have family members that would like to represent them, we would like the person in the institution to participate as well. But if they have family members that can share what are the needs, they're welcome to participate. So they can contact us right away.
Even the ones at home.
Yes, even the ones at home, they can contact us right away. And we would welcome their feedback for the brainstorming.
Is there a number, Safa, that we can?
Yes, 699-2728.
Okay. You know, just by listening to you telling us about this grant and how it's used here in American Samoa for people that need it, you know, it's just so wonderful.
Yeah.
And it's just that it takes time, you know, like everything else.
Yes.
And when it comes to federal grants and federal money, you have to be very careful of how you go about in starting this and do it properly and right, and that everybody will benefit out of it.
Exactly.
So I'm just saying to our people that there is this wonderful grant that we have right now with UCEDD. And all we're asking for is your patience to, so then this first year they'll be doing all these planning and making sure that everything is all set and done and right for our people that need this, that are qualified for this.
And we're more than welcome to come back after when we collect the data. We can come back and share, this is what we found out.
This is what we found.
Yes.
And then if you don't have enough, then people coming in, then you're saying, there must be more than this.
Yeah.
Come out, call us. And we'll be out there to help you out, fill out, and talk to you what this grant is all about.
And we always welcome the feedback from you.
Yes.
It's very important that we're receptive to the feedback of the needs out in the community to help the services be seamless.
Yeah. I'm going to try and explain it in Samoan, Safa, unless you can. I know your Samoan is
My
good.
sign language is better.
But correct me if I'm
Sure.
I'm not explaining it correctly in Samoan. La tau mo whaia tua I wha tu si tatua atu no ule nei wha manuanga mana i aua maua fo i tātou i le UCEDD lo taita ia e le whalitua ia ta wha. Ole grant nge po le wha manuanga nei e whātau sanga wha o 5 tau sanga 5 tau sanga. A o mea umalawa o tupe mai federale ma mea nā whape nā. E te taua o nā mautinoa i a sao le awenga o le tupe i whafu. I tatu atunu. Ma ia ma whaamalama le tatu atunu. Le winga o le grant lea ma le tupe maua. Ia whawhiwhia foi ona e apply ei pe te mana o foi e maua ni tala nisi tala e whaamalama ai ia oe i le grant lea. O le grant lea o se grant e sosoani tina matama matua sa au.
And the children.
E ma whanau. O e o lo whaapea o lo o ave o le whatuainga. Tausi ina. E a te wha. Ma e o tausi tama matina i a inga. Po ala ni mea e manao mea e whaatiri ai ona le lei po le maua o mea e tausi ai tina matama i le ainga po le ave fo i o le whatuainga. O le anga atonua le o grant lea a e ata wha.
Yes.
Ia le anga atonua la le o grant. Ai sila foi tutuila mamanua. E ta tāua o na whai mua ngā luenga al ofisa. E o atu I tua I no umala le whanga. E whai ei la lato su enga ne.
Yes.
Ia, e a tauli ai la ia i lātou i o le whatuainga o le whanma i le LPG ia ma e fo i o tauti ia tina matama i a inga ia ta whasao mai ia oka you can say it in English whasao
we would not necessarily go out in the community to collect it. What we will do is have 2 days of everyone coming together and to answer the questions like what are the needs, why what type of services is needed out in the community that is not found at home or it's found at the institution but does not exist. Yes.
Ya mela na mana ai le la wala au atu la le ofisa pa e o tengi e a fo e fasala la atu ai e tato mai fatas tato no fatas a iai ni fesili mani me whapena a le iai ofisa o le a iai whalitua ia ta wha ina e tani ato fesili mama ai pe qualify oe i le grants lea pe le ai
and then we'll let them know.
Ia e loa tonu ai ana ina le aunga tau foi ai e tu lo lava le whafonga anga o tatu atunu maua tonu e ana le aunga o le paipa a e ale po le tau tu lo lava tu tuila mamanua ia a o le grants la lea o mai nei tatu ofisa i tatu atunu whaftai fo i whautua ia tawha i le songa fo i olona mawhau i tupe ese ia mawhai o na maua e tātou le foi la le na tātou wa maua ai le foi isi territory le wa maua foi le whamanuianga
Puerto Rico.
Puerto Rico ia vai la ia te masalo o atu te me uman lima tau sangato apply ia ta whai le grant ia e o atu te masalo ave o whatuainga mo salo la ia e apply e soani atu poani le ni
So in order for them to be eligible, they just have to live in Fatuaina, reside in Fatuaina for at least 60 to 90 days.
Okay.
But if in some cases they're at LBJ for more than 60 days, so they cannot come directly from home. They have to be in an institution. So the only two qualified institution would be Fatuaina or LBJ.
Yes. Okay. So and your people will be always there to help answer questions because we ka ko rola la fa but e ya tu la fono e tawana wa wai le tu la fono le tupere le fa pe e ta fama tu lo le 5.7 million e sa wa mo requirements e sa ole avenga ma ole tupene ia manuia o mai tangata si tatua tunu olo mana o mia fo ele nei so soani yeah is there anything else so wonderful to hear this and our American Samoa has been blessed with these kind of grants and our people should take advantage of it because if this 5 years is done, we can there might be another one.
So this we can reapply because currently right now there's discussion about it being permanent. But at the end of the day, the 5 years is still a new phase for us here in the territory.
So it's kind of, for every first thing, you always have to get used to it and get yourself familiarized with whatever you have to do. And then once you're done with this 5 years, you're a pro. Okay, this is...
I hope so.
Get another 4.7 million. This is wonderful. Thank you so much for this.
Thank you.
Is there something else to follow? I know now that you're going to be hiring new people, and that also helps American Samoa. And also with your caregivers that are here, taking training here with ASCC nursing. Now that's a lot of help,
And then we can also connect them to how to set up themselves as their own business if that's what's needed to get them out in the
See, look at all the benefits we get out of this.
Yes.
Now if we can take the word out and explain it to our people how wonderful this grant is going to benefit our people, they'll all come in
Yeah.
and ask for it and just want to understand more about the grant. And then, God willing, in 5 years, and you apply again and we get another one. Why? Because
Yeah.
it went well.
Exactly.
Oh,
So we hope that we are able, whoever's interested in applying to be a project director,
yeah.
have good management skills, have at least a master's and 5 years of
Mhm.
work experience in the field of disability, please apply. So we're hiring a project director, a project manager, and a data analysis specialist,
Mhm.
all full-time positions.
The OT and the, oh, no, is it OT?
Occupational therapist.
Yeah, you need that.
Definitely, we will try and build capacity in the field of OT and a PT. Even if they're just assistants, it's something to help get something going, but we would still need a certified OT and PT.
And it's good to have that on the program.
Yes.
Because it will help your people that are on the program.
Yes, to get those services
Yeah,
at
to
home.
get those services.
So it's like it's like a home visit, yeah.
Yeah,
So the
yeah.
healthcare goes to
to
the
the
homes
home
and
and
provide
does,
those.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah. That is wonderful. I mean, it's just so good for our people, even for the students here at ASCC. Now you hear the availability of the jobs that our Tafa is talking about. You know, with your degree, if you have when getting a degree and all that, just walk over there across the street
Yeah.
and get more information about it.
Yeah.
Put your application in, and then we'll help you with the job and see if you're qualified for it.
Or even if you never thought PT was your field of interest or OT,
Yeah.
if
And
you're
those
interested.
are so useful, Atafal.
Yeah.
I mean, even with you going to the games or stuff and something happens there
On the
and you
field.
have the experience, you just rush right there
On the
and do
field.
it. You have the,
Yeah, so that's always a need actually not just at home, but also at the hospital.
yeah.
The Department of Education is always in need of a PT and an OT. So
Yeah.
you can never go wrong with trying to set up your own business in the field.
In that field, yeah.
Be your own boss.
Yeah, be your own boss. You don't have anybody to have to talk to or
Yes.
listen to. Well, I see we have 2 more minutes, Tafa. Is there anything else or some encouragement that you would like to say before we close our show?
No, I am just thankful. My heart is full of gratitude with God blessing us with this grant. I also want to recognize many of the agencies who help provide the letter of support. This is the Department of Commerce Director Peti Matila, the Director of OPAD,
Yeah.
Peter Gintali, also the Executive Director Norma Smith for
Yeah.
the Eating
And you
Council.
need all those people.
Yes,
Yeah.
and then also, we worked a lot behind the scenes with the Medicaid office, the Medicaid Director, Sandra King. I worked directly with Failani Bofa, so she helped me a lot and tried to get some of the requirement
Yeah.
documents that needed to support him.
That is so wonderful. You know, reaching out to all those professional people in a different area that applies with the grant, and then that way you can work.
It seamlessly,
Yeah.
everything is connected
Yeah,
back into
everything
the
is so connected together that it's so
Yes.
easy to take it out.
Yeah, it was a struggle. 5 years, that much money. It was a lot of thinking that needed to go into the proposal, but it had a positive outcome, and
Yeah.
it was God's will. So
God was with you, girl.
exactly.
Everything you always say, okay, Father, will you please help me to do this writing and everything to get
Yeah.
this grant?
Give me a clear vision.
Yeah,
I'm going. I'm losing my sight here.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Tafa, for taking time out to come and be with us here at Saili le Atamai. And on behalf of our president, Dr. Rosemont Makaidi Pato, thank you so much for your time, Tafa, and hopefully that we'll have you again here on Saili le Atamai. And I know our people are very glad and happy about this grant, and they will listen and look forward to how to go about in getting this blessing.
Thank you.
Ia tutuila mamanua ia o tatou polokalama na talusia ia ua taumawhai atu lava e whaamalamalama i le tatou ngangana ai o le telefoni a ofisa tawha o le ono iwa lua fitu lua walu pe a whaape o lo le le whaamalamalama e le au auna i le tatou ngangana. But o le se whamanuianga mana ia tutuila mamanua ia mo le atu le whaftaitele lava i le whaltua ia tawha mamao a tua tupuola. Mo le whaawanoa ina fo ila na teini e suma e tatou ftuwha ia i fo i le nei whamanuianga mana ia wa maua fo i e tutuila mamanua ia malanga ofisa langa polokalama i lalo le wawainga le tatou kolisi tu whaatasi. Iai lava se upu, tutuila manua ua le tau tamali i lau whaafunga anga. Ia malu awe i whale lo whingampe whamangalo mai fwoi le au auna. Lo whaatu i tamama tina matua lo nofo mai le whale. Whai i siau whanau. Ui ko whalongolongo polokalama ata whama whaatima manai al whamanuianga lai. Pe umalawa e au ngai ata tau lea wawau lea no fulfale pe awe au i ol whatuainga pe a. Ia ol polokalama nā tina matamata tanoa e lina iau whanau nai tausia oi i le whale. Ia mamanui atu. Ia o au o Fatima, nai kia o hito whaasoi fua.